Yeah.
We should probably introduce ourselves.
Yeah, you can just say, "Hi, I'm Jordan. Welcome to our show."
I'm Jordan Thompson. Welcome to our show, first show.
I'm Kevin Soster, and today's episode we're going to talk about our favorite pet cards. So, Jordan, what do you define a pet card as?
Pet card, like, obviously, like, us playing, like, janky-esque, like, decks a lot of the time.
For sure.
Pet cards are, like, the cards that I love playing, knowing they're not, like, objectively, like, great. Like, at an example, like, it's not on my list, but, like, the retreats, like, the landfall cards.
Yeah.
Like, those, like, aren't put in decks, because, like, they're, like, objectively not super good, but, like, I love playing the retreats. So that, to me, is, like, a pet card.
Cards that we play that we don't play because they're good. We play because we just enjoy playing them.
We love them,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, boy. All right. All right. The first one I have on here is Conjurer's Closet.
Okay.
It's a 5-drop artifact. At the beginning of your end step, you can essentially flicker a card, you know, have it leave the battlefield, have it re-enter. It sounds super weird. Like, when I look at commanders with an ETB, like, in command, like, you don't want to cast your commander a million times, but I want to, like, abuse their ETB so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I constantly... So, like, I basically, like, throw that in every deck for any commander that remotely has an end of the battlefield trigger. I'm like, Conjurer's Closet.
Okay.
Like, doesn't matter if
you
it's
just want to flicker everything?
Yeah, I just have to... I have to be able to do it more than, like, twice a game, or I just, like, feel like it's, like, not...
You're not playing Magic?
Yeah, I'm not playing the commander right. It's super bizarre, but...
It's a good card. What's its CMC again?
5.
See, I feel like that's pretty high, but I mean, once you get it out, like,
yeah, it is.
It's a good time.
I mean, if your commander comes in at like turn 4, play that next turn, and then like you can start doing shenanigans. But it's objectively, again, not great, but I love it.
Yeah. Okay, so for my first pet card, I have 2, but it's because they do the same thing, and they're both 1 CMC. The first one's Glasses of Urza, which is a 1 CMC artifact that says you tap it to look at target player's hand. So, like, it sounds really bad, but you can use that in a 4-player game really politically to, like, be like, oh, I know what he has in his hand. Right. Like, she has a rift. Like,
don't play that. Like, you're getting rifted.
And if you really don't want to have friends and you're playing blue, telepathy is the way to go, because everyone plays with their hands revealed.
And I love that.
And it costs 1. It's an enchantment.
I love telepathy.
I know, it's pretty great. You're probably going to piss some people off, but it's really fun to play when everyone just has their whole hand out, and you're like, I see his combo.
Against a control player, just knowing good and well when the combos come in, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and you see all their counter spells. All right, you can go.
My second one's Elish Norn.
Okay.
It's Grand Cenobite. Fun side story for...
Do you have it?
I do. It's up on that shelf right there. For a wedding gift, because I just got married a few months ago, I've always wanted the Phyrexian text, like, Judge promo for Elish Norn, but it's like $500, and that's
real expensive.
That's, like, super expensive. So Kevin, being, like, the BFF that he is, went and got me an altar from... Who's the guy? Like, did such a good job.
Scourge Altars on Facebook. Yeah. I'll link him below.
Yeah, he made me a Phyrexian text altar, and it is amazing.
Yeah, that's really
good. Oh, it's so good.
I want one.
I know, I absolutely love it. I don't have a home for it yet. I don't have a deck for it yet, but I'm going to make it. But
just steal yours.
Elish Norn, basically, like, the only reason I like... Well, honestly, not the only reason I love this card, but the art on that card is my favorite art, maybe of all time in Magic. And on top of that, like, it gives your creatures buffs. It, gives all other creatures -2/-2. Which, like, I've played this in games against, like, token decks, and people get so angry. I'm just like, you just hose a token deck so hard.
It just shuts down, like, Perforos and, like, even, like, Norin.
Oh, yeah.
Shut down.
Yeah, it's such a good, like... I mean, it's a 7-drop, so, like, if you're really investing 7 mana for...
It should be doing that, yeah.
Right, yeah, for 4/7 with Vigilance is not... I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as...
No, there's some better things, but it's still a really good card.
I just love
Especially in white.
Especially in white.
Yeah. No, and what's better than 1 Elish Norn is 4 copies of Elish Norn.
That's happened so... There's been like 4 or 5 games where we've somehow had 2 Elish Norns out, and it's like... And I never understand, like, how, like, I wonder if that happens to anyone else in the world.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I personally play a lot of blue decks that play, like, Phyrexian Metamorph and, like, Clone and, like... I don't even know. A lot of the just copying ones, so, like, I'll just make 4 Elish Norns just to piss
every time an Elish Norn comes out, you're like, oh, yep, it's great.
Instead of countering it, I'd rather copy it and have one for myself.
And then the other side of the board is sitting with -4, and all their creatures just can't play the game. It's great.
Yeah. Alright, so for my next one, I'm going to skip around. So for my second one, I have Reap, and it's a sorcery, or no, it's an instant, which is like 10 times better. It's 1 and a green, and it reads, return any number of target cards from your graveyard to your hand. You cannot choose more cards than the number of black permanents target opponent controls. So you basically pay 1 and a green to return like... Usually you can hit like 10 cards off of this from the graveyard.
Yeah, it's absurd.
It's any permanent, not just non-land. So anyone who's just playing swamps, like black permanent. Does
that count as a permanent though?
Yeah, because it would say non-land, wouldn't it? Non-land permanent.
I think lands don't count as color or count as colorless permanents.
Oh yeah, they're colorless, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that kind of hoses it a bit.
But it's still. But here's the thing though. Even when we played that game. I remember the first time you busted that card out, and I was like, "Wait, what is this?"
What is this
and I was playing like, and there's enough black that like, how many times like in our playgroup is there mono black decks? Like a bunch. Like Caitlin plays black all the time. Riley and Alex both play mono black decks and play Gitrog and all those like. So like it usually will do something really good.
Yeah, and especially with the whole statistics episode of Command Zone.
Right.
They like mono black's one of the best mono colors, and a lot of people play black as a splash color in other decks. So like you're gonna hit, and for green, like bring back at least 3 or 4 cards for 1 and a green. Like that's amazing.
At the end of the day, if you're paying 2 mana.
Yeah.
2 mana, and if someone has, if there's 4 cards, you're paying 2 mana for 4 card return. Like that's
just any type either. Like it's not just creatures. Like any.
Because I can't think. I'm trying to think of like what other return. Like even like Dread Return's still 4 mana, and that's only hitting 1 card.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty great. No one's found it yet. And I love it.
And it's in green.
Yeah. All right.
Oh god, my phone locked. I'm ruining everything. Okay, next one. This one. Modern players might get a little triggered, but I don't care. Is Birthing Pod, because that was like a big thing in Modern when it got banned and like everyone's like couldn't handle the world. It's 3 and then a green for Phyrexian mana. You can sack a creature to go search up a creature with CMC plus 1 of what you sack. So you sack a 4 drop and you go get a 5 drop.
Okay.
And you can only do it at Sorcery Speed, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's fine. But like I play this in my Marin deck, and it's so fun to get this out early and be like, I'm gonna turn my Viscera Seer into a like Lotla Troll. I'm gonna turn my Lotla Troll into a Fleshbag Marauder.
Yeah.
And like you just constantly just keep like eventually like soon enough like I'm getting out like Massacre Worms and like this stupid dumb stuff. I'm a big like graveyard player, so for me to like be able to like specifically find certain cards
and reuse them
and like all that stuff. The only problem I have with this card is like I don't know how many times like when I didn't have my curve right in my deck and I'm like sack a 6 drop and I search my whole deck and I don't have a 7 drop in there and I'm like
No, yeah, I find that I've actually never played that card in a deck ever.
Birthing
and
Pod?
That's not even like I don't like the card.
Right.
It's just I've never had a deck where I've needed it. But I feel like if you play that card, you need to have your deck like very planned out.
Oh yeah, I had to like redo my Marin deck at one point. Not like redo, but I had to have like a thought process of like how am I like what's my curve for Birthing Pod? Like, and it's super weird to like think like that, but like and it's I don't know, like then also I had to make sure like if I'm gonna sack a 3 drop on my turn, like am I getting a 4 drop that's like worth my time?
No, yeah. Is it worth sacking the 3 drop?
Yeah, and it usually is in Marin, but
yeah, it's really good value.
There's been a few times I'm like, no idea. Like
I get targeted a lot though. Well, maybe not in our play group, but in more competitive play groups, I find people would see that. And
absolutely.
Like, so cool.
I mean, I get it shut down in our play group enough that like I could see like if I drop that at like any other play group, they just kill it like the first turn. Like Frozen Grip the minute it comes out.
I just feel like for our play group, we don't even have a lot of like control anyway. Like we don't play a ton of counters or like Frozen Grips or like.
No, we all run like a small amount of spot removal enough
like
to like shut down combo or stuff like that. But like I've played in some play groups where.
It's hard to get anything.
Oh my god! Like I play something and like they're like blow that up, and I'm like, why'd you blow that up? They're like, it's a part of infinite combo. I'm like,
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. Like now you just wasted a kill spell on this guy. Like I don't even know that was an infinite combo. It's super.
Yeah, our play group's weird, but I love it.
We are super weird.
Alright, so my next card, I'm jumping around. So Jordan knows I play a lot of red and mono red specifically.
And you got me on the mono red train so hard. I love it.
Mono red. I want to thank Jimmy for introducing me to that because ever since like Nora and Neheb, I love it all. But in any mono red, I have a card Game of Chaos. It's 3 red to cast, and that's why I say mono red because if you're playing like an Izzet deck, it's hard to get 3 red.
Yeah.
And
because red's always a splash color most of the time.
And it reads, flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. The loser of the flip loses 1 life. The winner of the flip gains 1 life and may choose to repeat the process. Double the stakes each time. And that's the most important part. So I like to play this and like convince people to go all or nothing with me.
And you're really good at that.
Yeah. It's really political and you have to manipulate people to be like, oh, let's do it. Let's win the game right now. Because basically, say I target Jordan. I call heads, I win.
You always target me because you know I'll go all or nothing with you.
Because Jordan doesn't care. So he loses 1 life, I gain 1 life. It doubles. It goes to 2, then 4, 8,
it's
16,
it's
32. So like instantly you go from like all your life to nothing in like a coin flip.
Yeah.
And you can easily end up with like 80 plus life.
Oh, it's insane.
For 3 CMC. So like, I don't know, I always play it and it always turns out well for me.
I love it. I actually played that on X-Mage one time. I was testing a deck for Johnny. I was testing like an Aloro deck or something. Or I was up against an Aloro deck and this dude had like 200 plus life and he was in the chat and was like, let's do this. And I was like, all right, let's go. Like,
did you win or did he?
We ended up stopping eventually because like the other players were like, all right, like this has been going on for 10 minutes. Like, let's call it. No,
I do know that like if you play this, a lot of the people in your play group would get mad because the person who wins, if you go all the way, usually ends up with like 100 life, and then they pretty much win at that point. So, like, play this like strategically. Like if it's close to the end of the game or there's only one other person, like you just have to choose wisely.
But again, our play group is so weird and degenerate that like we're just like, let's do it.
Life, let's go.
Like we don't care not one bit.
All right, go for it.
Next one is that I like. Started playing this a lot, like, when I got back into Commander, was Gonti.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
He's a rogue.
He is a rogue. he a rogue, and he... Like, you get to, like, obviously you get the top, 4 cards of their library, and you get to cast them using any color, any mana, whatever. That card... Don't get me wrong, I've whiffed on that card so many times, where I got 3 lands and, like, a Soul Ring, and I'm like, that sucks, but...
Hey, Soul Ring's pretty good.
Soul Ring is pretty good, but, like, there's like, times in that game where I've hit, like... absurd stuff off that card, and it causes like this weird little bit of chaos that like I love. Like I play it in my Marin deck, and there's times where I'll hit something off the top, and it's some weird card that's not in my colors, but synergizes so well with my deck.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. It gives me the opportunity to do so much weird stuff. Like I think the one game I played with it, I think I got like a Tali off somebody.
Oh wow.
And I was just like.
Instant cast.
And I was just so excited. I'm like, yes, I get to like play a Tali in my Marin deck, and that was fun. But I mean, it's Gonti. Everyone knows what he does, and like everyone knows why he's good. I guess he might be like the card in here that's actually like really good.
I mean, he's good value if you think about it. If you're playing 100 or 99 card deck, you play Gonti, you're really playing like 103.
Yeah.
Because you're getting access to 4 cards that you wouldn't have in the first place.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And cards that aren't even in your color or like your playstyle. So.
Right, it's great, and especially I love when like when Caitlyn plays her Anamatu deck. Mm-hmm. I know she. I like when I like because when I know she's putting something back on top that's good.
Oh yeah.
Like every time, so I'm like Gonti, Caitlyn.
Yeah.
For reference, Caitlyn's my wife who like is in our play group and like is like because I like she's like I target her so much because like
you can.
I
You're
can.
allowed.
Yeah, and but also her decks are like crazy good and like but yeah she plays this Anamatu deck and like she is so like. You can tell, like, she gets excited when she's, like, she rips a card off the top and she's like, like, puts it back. And I'm like, Gonti? And then every time she's like, don't do it. Like, don't Gonti me. And I'm like, too late. Like, and it's always, like, 3, like, miracle cards or, like, just, like, or just something that she wanted, like, yeah, just something. It's always good. And I every time I play, when she brings Anamatu out, I, like, bring out a Gonti deck.
Yeah, and Jordan sleeps on the couch those nights, so just so you know. Alright, my next card. I've played it. Oh shit, I lost it. I played it in my group hug decks. It's called Council's Judgment. It's 2 white and a colorless, and it says Will of the Council, which is a weird mechanic that I think is great. You basically vote. Starting with you, each player votes for a non-land permanent you don't control, and that's the main part. It's a non-land permanent that doesn't affect you. So everyone else, and each permanent with the most votes or tied with the most votes wins. And what is it? You exile each of those. So basically, you play that card. Each person can choose one non-land permanent, and all 4 of them go. Or you can all vote for what you think is the most important thing, and that one thing goes.
How many times has that card gone like awry though?
Yeah,
because someone always doesn't get it, or like just feels like ruining the day.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, we're gonna vote for like this thing, and like last minute they're like, I vote for that, and
it's
everyone
definitely hit or miss.
I've seen it like cause kerfuffles. Like people get
mad.
Yeah, because like especially when it becomes like that's a super political card, like so political.
I like to play political decks.
Yeah, and like so when like everyone's like, oh, we should all vote on the whatever it is, like the Avengers Zenda card, and then everyone that one person like throws it off by doing something else, and it's like
so like say Jordan has a Soul Ring and Caitlin and Johnny have an Elishnorn or something else weird, and like we all agree to vote for one of each thing, and then Johnny decides he doesn't want his Elishnorn to die, so instead he votes for the Soul Ring, and then I just paid 3 CMC to destroy Jordan's Soul Ring, and there's still an Elishnorn out, and like I don't know.
And that's happened often enough.
It happens, but it's better to play in person because we play a lot of online Magic, and I find that if you're playing online, people are gonna ruin this card for you. Oh yeah. So I always play it in person. It's still, I think, for 3 CMC, if you can get 4 non-land permanents exiled, it's pretty good value.
That's really good.
So, yeah. All right, go for it.
I don't know if this one's on your list. I doubt it is, but it's Aetherflux Reservoir. No. Okay, Aetherflux Reservoir. When this card came out, like,
oh, I love it.
I immediately like my like eyes like got so wide. I was like, yes, like I can do this, and like it goes infinite. You can infinitely kill the table with Sidri. I think it is. Yeah, Sidri. This really card,
commander.
It's so fun. It's such a fun card, but like. You ruined it for me. Like straight up. Like Kevin plays this in his your Ailey deck?
Ailey deck.
Like he'll get 51 life and then just shoot me off the table and then like lose next turn, not giving the shit. Like you don't care. Yeah, like not one care in the world that you just are gonna lose the game. And it's become a joke now that if Aetherflux is out and Kev has the life, I just die. Yeah. Whether or not if you win, lose, or whatever, I just die.
And I only do it because I know Jordan can take it because. People get salty.
I'm like the least salty player.
Jordan doesn't get mad if you target him, so I always do it to him because I know he's not going to be pissed all
right. night. So. I just laugh. I'm like, all right, game 2, like let's go. But this card is like I just find it really fun. Like just to be able to one shot somebody is, and especially in the right decks, it's.
Jordan knows when I'm going to do it because I always play Fumigate with it.
Every time it's Fumigate and then. Fumigate, gain your 30 life or whatever you're going to gain, and then Aetherflux.
And it's always like I'm right at 52 life, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll go to 2. And then Caitlin kills me next turn, but I don't care. Jordan and I are so happy.
Every time. At this point, like, I applaud it.
It's
I'm
great.
Like, yes. Right, your next one?
All right.
I see the one on there, like the number 8, and I'm so excited to get to that.
Number 8?
Should
we do that one?
Whatever you want to do. It's coming eventually.
All right, I'll keep it in. I'll do it now. Everyone's going to know. All right. So this card... Oh, okay. So I'm going to have to explain this. I play a deck called Lord of Tressorhorn.
Oh my god.
It's such a janky deck. Like if you look it up, it's like a 10-4. It costs like 4 to cast, but you have to stack like 8 things. You lose a life, discard cards just to play it. It's really bad, but I do a lot of weird like ETB effects to get it out, and it plays a lot of artifacts. So I play it in here. It's called Dingus Egg. It reads, whenever anyone loses a land or puts a land in the graveyard, Dingus Egg deals 2 damage to that player for each land lost. So I found this really only works if you're playing against like a Lord Windgrace or like any land deck, any green deck that recycles lands.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's 2 damage for each land they're putting in their graveyard.
I mean, that shuts down the Windgrace, Gitrog, and Titania.
Yeah, and if you think about it, those decks are like really big in the format right now. So it's a good like card to shut down.
I mean, all 3 of those are in our play group.
Yeah. It shuts down a lot of decks. The only problem I have with it is that it's 4 CMC.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of times you're not going to want to waste your turn 4 playing that.
No, because that's like commander time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Then again, like our play group, we do a lot of janky stuff, cheat things out, like weird things. So like I usually play this like on accident or like I don't actually cast it.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a good card for any land deck. So I don't know. That's why I play.
If anyone wants to send us Dingus Eggs,
we'll take them.
Every time there's a Dingus Egg at the shop, I buy it. Yeah. They're like 10 cents.
No, yeah, they're super cheap.
Only because Caitlin hates that card because I call her Dingus Egg all the time, and I have one that she ripped up. I played it at the shop, and she ripped it up into like 20 pieces, and I taped it back together and put it in a sleeve so she couldn't rip it again. Yeah. And I have like a stack of like 10 more Dingus Eggs that I'll occasionally just flop on the table at her. I'm like, here.
Just to make her mad.
Just to make her mad.
I have 2, but
I love them.
For it.
This card is probably my all-time favorite card, like in the history of Commander. Panharmonicon.
Ooh, okay.
Panharmonicon. When that card came out, my first thought, like Aether Revolt spoilers come out, and I'm like, or Kaladesh, whatever it was, and I saw that card, and I was like,
I think it's Aether Revolt.
Yeah, Aether,
right?
or no, it's Kaladesh.
Oh, okay.
I think I straight up I went and pre-ordered like 20 of them. I'm like, this is gonna be the next sleeper card that is gonna
You were right.
I was like, it's gonna be $30. I'm like, this card is gonna be the money card of the set, and it wasn't.
No,
I wasted a bunch of money on Panharmonicon, but
it's a really good card.
Again, like I said earlier with Conjurer's Clause, I love abusing end of the battlefield triggers. Absolutely love it. So for me to get two effects off it, I just put this in Marin for some reason. I don't know why I didn't have that in Marin from the minute I built it, but I just put it in my Marin deck, and it getting double triggers off of anything in that deck is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this card. If it's in my hand, I play. I don't care what turn it is. I get Panharmonicon.
No, I play a really good Norrin deck, and that's my win con in that deck.
Oh yeah.
You play that and you have all your ETB stuff for Norrin, and you're doing a double every turn.
Impact Tremors and
Wars. Pandemonium.
Yeah, and all that was it's so good. I love that deck. That's god.
We need a breakdown of the deck.
We need to at some point, because I'm not kidding. I have never. I look at every deck that anyone plays. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. That's cool. Yours is the one where I'm like, I need that. I want a Norrin deck so bad. I don't even care about making my own. I just want your deck list. I'll take it because it's so fun. I love it.
It's just one of those decks that you play it, and every time you play, it's a whole different experience.
Oh yeah,
it's
amazing. I love it.
All right, so for my next card. I actually love this card. I don't play it a lot, though, because it's kind of expensive, and people are going to make fun of me for saying that, because it's only $18, but our playgroup's kind of budget. We don't have $600 to drop on a deck.
No.
Or at least I don't. You have some decks that are a little expensive, but that's just because you've sold a bunch and built new ones. It's not.
Yeah, I went from 10 decks to 4 decks and upgraded
so naturally you're going to have more money in them. But I played this in my Tatiova deck, and it's really good in any green deck. It reads, during your upkeep, if one or more opponent controls 3 or more creatures, sack Defense of the Heart and search your library for up to 2 creatures and put them into play. So it's basically an Entwined Tooth and Nail.
Oh yeah.
But an enchantment, and you don't have to cast it.
Read it one more time.
So during your upkeep, if one or more opponents controls 3 or more creatures. So say someone's playing a token deck, or even just has 3 creatures,
or just any deck at that point.
Which everyone plays creatures. This is Commander. You're gonna have 3 creatures.
Except for Narset, but she's degenerate.
Yeah. You sack the enchantment and search your library for any 2 creature cards and put them into play.
What turns that come out on? 3?
4. It's 3 and a green. But if you're playing green, you can get that out on turn 2 if you wanted to.
Yeah. So if you get that, if you pop that off on turn 4, and you you can do.
Yeah. My whole thing is you search Craterhoof and Avenger.
Yeah.
You get them both out at the same time.
Yeah.
You set them, get your plants.
Even you can. I mean, even God, there's that card's so good. Why don't I play that? I need to play that, and
that's why it's $20 because it's really good. But it's basically a Tooth and Nail.
I forgot about that card.
Yeah,
and Tooth and Nail. Really I'd rather play that than Tooth and Nail. I'm sure people are going to be people what? No, Tooth and Nail's great. No, it's
every green deck plays Tooth and Nail. So if you think about it, this is just a second Tooth and Nail.
Right.
And you could argue that it's better because it's cheaper.
I might play that in Windgrace because I do the Craterhoof and Avengers Zendikar, one of the win conditions.
Card that I feel like a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Even if you're not playing a mono green deck, you could search for Void Winnower and Ulamog or something like that, and just shut down the board, stuff like that.
Oh,
it's really good.
That's great.
But all right.
I forgot about that. Next one, a new card that I fell in love with the minute it came out was Multani Yamamaya's Avatar.
Okay.
Because he's a 0/0. He's a 6-drop 0/0 with Reach Trample, and he gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land in your graveyard. Now I play Lord Windgrace, which I have a bajillion lands in that deck, and this card is I'm not kidding, my big every time I played this card, the table just groans because it's just, and you can get it back, and then you can get it back to your hand and recast it, and what game were we playing a few weeks ago? I forget. I don't know if you were even here, but someone had some huge flyer out. It was a 9/9 flyer or something, and I'm facing that down, and I'm Multani, and it was like a 20/20, and everyone's just like,
yeah.
It has trample and reach, so everyone's just like can't swing into it, can't stop it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
and any deck that plays lands, like you might as well, because it's lands on the battlefield and in the graveyard.
Yeah, because I have it in Lord Lingrace, and I have it in Mono Green Omnath.
Yeah.
Because
like a what am I trying to say?
Tatiova?
No.
Titania?
Titania.
Yeah.
I couldn't speak for a second.
It's amazing. It's.
Oh, I saw one of your cards there.
Oh yeah.
I love that one.
That one,
yeah.
Best art ever. Besides Dingus Egg art.
All right. My next one. Yeah. No, I actually do this one. Where is it? It's Collective Voyage, and I love it. It's one green. It says join forces as a sorcery. It says starting with you, each player may pay any amount of mana. Each player searches his or her library for up to X basics, where X is the total amount of mana paid this way. Put them onto the battlefield tapped, which kind of sucks. But for one green, okay. So the one problem with Commander is that it takes so long to play. And that's just because like turn 1 to 10 is just everyone building and like trying to find stuff and like playing lands. But if you have Collective Voyage and you're in a play group, you can tell everyone, hey, hold up mana. Next turn, I'm playing this. Everyone's going to pay up to like 10.
Yeah.
And then everyone is automatically jumped to turn 15.
Objectively, like every player who's like anything higher than our play group probably looks at that card and is just like, I would never pay into that because you're giving someone else the advantage. Yeah. Us, we're like, everyone dumps all their mana into it and we just get like ridiculous amounts of lands. And I know that's probably an objectively bad way to play Magic, but I don't care.
No,
but I don't care.
I feel it speeds up the games, and it's not like Tempt with Discovery where one person's getting 4 and everyone else is getting 1. Everyone's getting the same amount. The only issue is like if you're not playing a lot of basics, you might be one to stray away from it.
But we're cheap, so we play a lot of basics.
A ton of basics. So like easily we'll hit like 15 on this in a game and search for 15 basics.
Oh yeah.
And like not have to play lands.
Last time I played Fildegriff.
Yeah.
I did that, and everyone had like. Is it the amount of mana you put in about the amount of lands you tap? How's that one read?
No, it's mana. So
yeah, cause I think I had Rites of Flourishing out or something, and everyone was just like dumping like
double mana.
I think everyone like got almost all their basics out.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, even in not group hug strategies, it's good to just jump ahead because then everyone's like playing to win now. They're not just playing to play lands.
Because most of them are going to play that in some kind of ramp deck.
Yeah.
And even then, if you have 6 lands, they have 4. Everyone goes to get 6 more. You're still ahead.
You're still ahead no matter what.
Yeah, and people are way more likely to do that than compared to Temp with Discovery.
Yeah, Temp with Discovery, you have to like get everyone to agree to do it. But.
And I've learned is to not do that because you never benefit.
No, people have learned.
Yeah. Next one I have is. I from someone who just wants to play Legacy so bad, I think it's where it comes from because it's like a staple in Legacy. Is Baleful Strix.
Okay, I love that card.
I know it's so good, like amazing art, like some of my favorite art of all time. But like 2 mana for a 1/1 flying Death Touch that draws you a card when it enters. Like I don't think I need to go like super into that. Like that's just great value, and on top of it being super good blocker, like people don't swing into a Baleful Strix ever, and then it draws you a card if, like, again, like me, I love abusing into the battlefield, so I'll flick that all day.
Yeah.
That card is just...
I think it's insane that it only costs 2.
Right.
It makes sense, though, that it's a blue and a black. It's not like a blue and a colorless.
Right, yeah.
They make it a little harder, but a 1/1 flying Death Touch and it gets you a card?
Yeah, it's absurd. Like, it's just such good value. I love it. I don't even need to speak on that card anymore. It's just...
No, yeah, it's like
it's just
a free blocker, free cards.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. I think that's good. Unless you have more you want to talk about, go for it.
The only one that I remotely want to talk about...
I don't have any others, so...
The last one I want to talk about, like I guess like a little honorable mention or something, is my all-time favorite, greatest commander no one will ever convince me otherwise that he is not the greatest commander ever, is Duretti. I picked up what was it, last year when they did the anthology, like I didn't care about, like, no offense, but I hate Atraxa. I didn't want Atraxa, I didn't want Mimeoplasm, and like that blue, that Boros one that no one likes. And I saw Duretti in there, and everyone's like, oh, Duretti's like pretty good out of the box, and it has Wormcoil Engine in it. And I'm like, I'll pick it up. Even if I tear it down for like pieces, it's still like worth my money. I got it for like super cheap.
So good.
Now, like, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not like thinking about my Duretti deck, and I'm like, I need to I currently I'm upgrading it more than it was, but
it's so easy for you to go off in that deck too. Every synergy is just amazing.
It's at the point where I don't win with it. I think it might be the most tuned deck in our play group. Straight up, like it's so good. Like that deck is so tuned.
Yeah.
And I'm dead first every time because everyone's just like, nope.
No, we've known now. Like, we let you go off, like, the first month you had it, but after a while, we're like, all right, we need to target him, like, turn one.
Right, because I remember the first time I brought that deck home and I ulted Duretti because you guys didn't, like, understand the implications of what that was. And I was, like, sack my whole board every turn, get every end of the battlefield trigger, get every death trigger. It was just absolutely, like... He's what made me fall in love with Mono Red. He made me fall in love with artifacts. And, like, I don't think... I recently tore down Duretti to build it into the new Saheeli, and that was the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, the deck didn't do as well, and then you rebuilt it again.
And I rebuilt Duretti, and now I'm like back to being like the happiest guy in the whole world because he's my honorable mention.
No, what's the card? Darksteel Forge makes it all indestructible.
Yeah,
is that what it does? And then there's an artifact that gives everything like hexproof, I think. There's something that you do that completely locks your board that no one can touch.
Yeah.
Unless you have a Rift, which we play a lot, but not everyone plays blues.
No, and especially, I'm trying to think of, there's a way to lock. We were actually at work last night, and me and Johnny were talking about Magic, and he said something about my Duretti deck, and he's like, the only card that kind of irritates me is Darksteel Forge, because I don't always have the kill spell for it. And I'm like, it's artifacts are indestructible, not other artifacts are indestructible. He's like, wait, it's self-indestructible? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, OP, like, dumbest card. It's like how Tyrant. He's like, that is stupid. Like, he's like, what do I do? How do I get rid of it? I'm like,
you can't.
You have to bounce it. You have to bounce it or, like, exile it.
Yeah.
He's like, so I have to get through that to, like, get through to any of your board. I'm like, yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, if you can Merciless Eviction or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, he hasn't seen it, but I'm like, imagine when I have that and, Platinum Angel out, and he's like, I would just scoop and go home. I'm like, he's like, he didn't realize it, but this whole tirade about how he hates Darksteel Forge. And I feel like there's like this big thing in our play group where everyone's like, down with Darksteel Forge, but that's fine.
I mean, it's a good card. It's just like the way you sequence it is you always play it when you have like the other one, whatever that like protects it. Also, I don't even know the name of the card.
I forget. I
gives it hexproof.
I just I don't even.
So
remember.
then you can't even target it. So like the only way you can literally like get you to be like. To even win is to bounce everything off your board.
Or you have to just kill me and hope I don't get Platinum Angel.
Yeah.
And just kill me. Because there's a point where I can lock the whole board out of... Yeah. I just can't be touched by anything, and it's great.
And then you have, like, Bosch out and, like, Platinum Angel, and you're just hucking things at people.
I huck everything. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's a good card.
Everyone hates it. It's okay, though.
All right, well, that was our episode of Pet Cards. So if you guys have your own... Please leave them below. I want to know your jank, because I love jank.
Yeah, please, if there's a card you love that isn't good...
It's probably good.
Like, it's probably great for us. So, like, please let us know because we're the ones constantly like, I found this weird niche card that got played never, and we love it. So if
we like to show up with weird cards.
So if you have hit us up with your weird cards, we'd love it. If we throw them in a deck, we'll shout you out.
Yeah, and give us suggestions for what other episodes you want to hear us talk about, or any questions or anything. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Bye.